Brenda, welcome to Inside the Inbox. I am super pumped that you are here and what we're talking about today. So let's just dive straight in. I would love to know, what is one way that you've grown your email list over the last 12 months?
Hi, Kylie. Honestly, the biggest needle mover for me was designing one clear, repeatable signature workshop. I didn't build a new funnel. I didn't dance on reels every day. I created a talk I believed in based on the transformation I help people with. And I started sharing it consistently with new audiences. Every month, I brought the same talk into the community, into a summit, a mastermind, or a bundle. And with each one, I not only grew my list, but I built real trust. This wasn't about visibility for the sake of visibility, i.e. getting on social media, trying to go viral, all those things. I was teaching something powerful, capturing leads with a strategic freebie and converting those leads into clients. That's what made the difference. And just some real-time results that came of it is I used to see people joining into my email list through other types of freebies like downloadable guides, the workbooks, all the things that we've probably put together, you and me combined, and everyone else listening. And while those were effective and they were great at bringing in leads, they weren't necessarily high quality leads that are ready to buy. And so one of the things that I did is I created this signature workshop, and I also utilized meta ads, lead ads with an instant form to drive people to my workshop. And between them signing up for my workshop and then taking part in the workshop, I put them through a nurture sequence. So oftentimes what I see people doing is they have workshops out there and people will sign up for them, and then there's no communication until maybe 24 hours before, where you get a couple of reminder messages and a Zoom link. And that's like a missed opportunity for nurturing to happen. So now what I'm starting to see is, instead of people signing up for my lead offer, my signature offer that I'll talk about in my talk, is that they're signing up for it in my nurture sequence before the talk even happens, or live during the talk. Like, I'll actually have my cash register open, and so I'll hear like the little cash register bell go off, and I'll be like, oh, someone just bought the offer. So that is another sort of like incentive and a fun way to kind of celebrate not only my signature talk working, but the whole sales system that I've put in place around the signature talk. So for the people here that are listening to this, here's some questions that I started thinking and asking myself. What's something I could talk about forever and still feel excited about? Because I see a lot of business owners out there doing workshops, but they're switching them out every month. New slide decks, new ways of like trying to cultivate an audience to that. And one of the things that I found is, now that I have my signature talk, I literally teach it every month the same way. For sure, it looks a little bit differently because I'll be teaching in front of a live audience. So people will bring real life examples of what's happening in their business, the highs, the lows. And obviously that content gets augmented based off of the real life scenarios that come through. Plus, based off of the questions that people are asking me, I always go back and say, you know what, maybe I should spend a little bit more time on slides 5 through 7 and not gloss over those ones, because a lot of people had questions about them. So each workshop slightly changes, but overall, it's just building on one after another. I get better at it. My systems get better at delivering on it. I can see what people are responding to in my nurturing sequences and my sales sequences post workshop. So instead of having to like reinvent the wheel every session, I just get better and better with my signature talk. And I came up with my signature talk based off of the core framework that I offer my clients. So I have my signature offer and I have my signature talk. Notice how there's a pattern. I don't try and reinvent the wheel around my business. I'm not coming up with new offers every 3 months in my business. I have my signature offer that every one of my clients basically gets funneled into. And after they've worked with me for a while, and so reveal of my signature offer is my membership community. And so after they've been working with me for a while, there's an opportunity for either them to join into a mini mastermind that I've created, or one-to-one coaching, or even in some cases done for you services that myself and my team will oversee with that business owner to make sure that they're crossing the finish line on whatever strategy they need in their business. But getting back to the signature talk, the most important thing that I do is I take an aspect of whatever my clients are resonating with the most in my signature offer. So I'm continually surveying, doing polls with my client groups, asking them, did you like the apple session? Did you like the oranges session? And then from there, I'll just pull the best content that I have and deliver it in that signature workshop. I'm not worried about people hearing it 2 or 3 times, because as you know, in the marketing world, in the sales world, people need to hear things a repeated amount of times in order for them to make an informed buying decision. And plus, that's half the transformation work. If I'm talking about it in my social media, in my Evergreen content, in my workshop that they come to live, and in my email sequences that they're hearing about, and it's like the same message being repeated over and over again, when they actually get a chance to work with me one-to-one or in my membership, that greater proximity, higher transformations end up happening. And I hear it from clients all the time. They'll be like, oh, right, you told us this in that workshop. You told us that in that email. I saw you post about this on social media. So they're actually picking up all the breadcrumbs and filling their basket with it. And that transformation happens a lot sooner for them. And my last point that I would finish off with is, and this is really important, I think, for anyone in the coaching, consulting, personal branding space, is sure, you can sit at Canva and come up with more slides and more workshops and have a couple people attend it. But once you get a signature workshop in place, you will start seeing the momentum build. I started this formula back in November of 2024. And in November, I think I had maybe like 35 people sign up for the first workshop, and maybe 2 people attended live, along with some of my members, my existing members in my community. And then in December, it ramped up to about 250 people with, again, probably like a 5 to 10% turnout rate. January, I had close to 1,000 people. And now I'm trending that, like anywhere between 800 to 1,000 people. Using meta ads helps, but I think that's also the formula in meta ads, is that when the meta ad sees repeat ad content of the same caliber, it will push your ad out to more people. So I'm just reaching way bigger audiences, more high quality leads, no bots, no one sort of filling up my email. These are people that are converting and they're joining my membership. And they are saying to me, like, I saw your ad, I was like, loved your email messages, and I love coming to the workshop. And everything that you've said is just sort of like linked it all together for me. And I'm glad I'm here in your community. So keep your business simple, be on repeat, be known for something that's signature, and get it out there to more high quality leads out there in the world that want to work with you.
Brenda, I love this so much. And I think the reason I love it so much is because it's simple, right? Like, it doesn't mean that it's easy, but it's simple. The signature workshop, links to the signature offer, which just makes so much sense. And it makes that customer journey so much easier for them to go through, right? So I would love to ask a couple follow-up questions. You did share how nurturing between the workshop sign up and the live event made a really big difference in conversions. What do you think one key element would be that every pre-workshop nurture sequence should include to boost shop rates and sales? Can you just talk to us a little bit about what that looks like? Because if anybody's listening and they want to start doing the signature workshops, I would just love them to feel more confident about increasing that sign up rate and how they can get more people actually showing up live, and then obviously purchasing afterwards as well. But any advice you have about that would be incredible. And then my other question is around the fact that a lot of people, including myself sometimes, get bored and they want to create something new before their signature workshop or their old offer really has a chance to work. I was always the worst for this. I was always creating new things. I've gotten much better as I've gotten along in my business, but I would love to hear what you would say to the business owner that is listening to us right now that's tempted to ditch their talk only after running it once or twice, that might get bored easily. What would you say to them?
So when it comes to nurturing the audience that I've generated from my sign up link, so this is people that have signed up for my free workshop, and the workshops say not happening for another 2-3 weeks, potentially, because I'm only delivering it once a month. I am sending them a series of content, repurposed evergreen content that either is living on my YouTube channel, on my podcast, or I may be taking top performing emails or even social media posts that I've written months ago that I want these new members that have joined my subscription to encounter, because I think that's one of the things that I've always perplexed me a little bit about email marketing is you're constantly, whether you're doing social media content or you're doing email marketing content, you're always trying to come up with new content, new ideas, new ideas. But actually there's a bit of a mistake there, because if I was to sign up for your email subscription today, I'm not going to get all those gemmy type content pieces that you wrote 2-3 months ago that have converted other people. So I go back, I look at my analytics, and I'll repurpose high performing emails, ones that got high click rates, high open rates, etc. And I'll repurpose those to new subscribers that are coming in. I've also recently sort of redone my YouTube presence. I don't actually focus on YouTube to build subscribers, but I use it as a way to nurture my existing audience. So when you come in to sign up for the workshop, you're going to receive a series, as I mentioned, of emails. And in there, there's going to be YouTube episodes that I've recorded that go sort of deeper into some of the concepts that I'm going to be teaching in the workshop. So again, it all sort of feeds back to my signature offer, my signature talk, and anything that I'm talking about on my podcast or my YouTube channels are extended sessions, topics coming from that signature talk. This way, when people come to my live talk, they are primed, they are ready, they kind of even know the framework that I'm going to be teaching them in the workshop. And this is an opportunity to really customize it and make the experience uber genuine for the people that are attending live. How many of you have gone to workshops where you just kind of feel it's rehearsed, it's staged, and even when people are asking questions, it's kind of like, oh, those have already been asked before, and they ask the same, or they answer it the same way every time. But I try and make sure that people that are attending the live workshop get like the best of Brenda during that day, because they've already been consuming some of my best content, and now they're going to get it live from me. And lastly, if they happen to hear a message again 2 or 3 times, that I think is part of the transformational journey. Is it's never a one and done. Like, how many times have you gone to a workshop and you're like, what did they say again? How do I put that into my business? And you almost have to go back and listen to the replay 2 or 3 times. So I want to create that experience for them in that nurturing sequence leading up to the event. What I've also been doing now too is even test piloting some bonuses. So normally I would leave the bonuses for the workshop for the people that attended live or people post-workshop in the sales sequence that follows. But now I'm trying some of the bonuses, like enroll now into my community and get this free course. And that's also helping with conversions before they even come to the workshop. Now, some of you might be thinking, this sounds great, Brenda. I can see how having an evergreen signature talk on repeat that I'm doing month over month sounds really good. But come on, aren't you going to get a little bored? Aren't you going to want to ditch this before it actually starts building some traction for you? And yeah, the answer is for sure, yes. I love new things. I love hearing from other business owners out there on ways that they're doing what they're doing to drive their list and see more conversions happening. But here's the thing that I made a commitment to over the last 12 to 18 months in my business is that I want to see more freedom during my day. I don't want to feel like I'm reinventing the wheel. So if anyone is raising their hand going, heck to the yes on that, why are you making it so difficult to generate leads into your business by changing up everything that you're talking about month over month? So I'm not saying that to be cruel and harsh. I'm just saying go back to the vision that you created about why you started your business. Was it to work 24/7? Was it to always feel like you're in the hustle and the grind? And if you're saying no, of course not, Brenda, well then try it out. What would it feel like to just have some aspects of your business on repeat, rinse and repeat month over month? And really, at the end of the day, creating sort of boring processes that if you need some creative outlet, like go get a hobby. That's where I'm sort of thinking maybe I need to take up golf, because now it's created so much more freedom during my day that I could actually spend 4 hours on the golf course today, or 2 hours at the driving range and really practicing my swing if I wanted to, because I'm not having to be in my business all the time. But here's a couple of tips though for the people that are really concerned about losing interest in this signature talk on repeat is do polls, surveys, and ask for past client testimonials. The reason why I do this leading up to the workshop is I will even customize aspects of the workshop. If I know that there's going to be someone coming live, and I've sent out a poll on social media or to my email list saying, hey, out of all the things that I'm going to be talking about next week in this live session, what's really important to you? And so if that means prioritizing 2 or 3 more slides in the overall slide deck around that topic, because I know someone's going to be coming live, that just makes the whole experience more personalized and customized to them. And chances are I'll probably see a conversion from them. Then I'll do that. And the other thing that I've also noticed with myself is that because I'm doing this signature talk on repeat, it's always about 80-20. I love this methodology. It comes from Pareto's principle, where 80% of your return comes from 20% of your effort. And so how can we be continually optimizing this deck? I think if you only do it once or twice, you're not going to see the full value. But if you're doing it monthly, you're going to look for ways to optimize it, how you can say something more efficiently, where you know you're landing the plane and seeing conversions happening. And I may have mentioned earlier, one of the things that I do is I keep my community portal on. And so when someone is converting right in the middle of my workshop, the little cash register button goes off, and it's super fun to see everybody's reaction, because people are like, what is that? I'm like, oh, someone just bought into my community right now. And so that creates this momentum. And so one of the things I've been able to do is track through the recordings of my session when people are converting. Is it after the first pitch, the second pitch? How can I make it happen sooner? So, there's ways to optimize it. But if you're constantly changing the deck, if you're constantly flipping to a new workshop every month because you're getting bored, that's where I think you're going to miss the opportunities, the subtle opportunities to make those shifts to really see more conversions. And then the last thing that I would say is, again, what do you want to be known for? I think those experts out there, if I look to the Maria Forleos, the James Wedmores, the Laura Belgray, the email masters out there, they continually talk about the same things over and over again. Yes, they figure out new ways to get their content out there, but it's still the same messaging. So whether or not you're talking about Amy Portersfield from 2024 to 2021, she's pretty much talking about the same thing: how to optimize your business with a course. And she's looking at new ways of getting her content out there, but her messaging is still the same. So let's just take a page from some of these experts out there. They figured it out, and we're making it way harder than it needs to be.
Brenda, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I wholeheartedly agree with everything that you said. And it's really, and my hope is that it's inspired some of our listeners to think about what they could turn into a signature workshop that makes sense, that could lead to their signature offer. It's definitely inspired me as well. Now, I would love to share the free gift that you have for our listeners with them. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is, why they should go and grab it straight away? And I will put the link to that in the show notes for everybody to go and sign up for as well.
Hi, Kylie. I'm really excited to share with your audience a free gift that I'm offering, which is to come to my next list building blueprint workshop, where we can actually work through together how you are generating new people coming to your list and nurturing that audience and converting more sales through an Evergreen workshop. We'll talk about other options as well, but I am really passionate about Evergreen workshops, and I want to show people my funnel, just how I've set it up, how I continue to nurture those audiences, and what my sequences look like. So I will give you a full deep dive into this. And the cool thing is we never have to talk about sending cold DMs, getting booked out mindlessly on discovery calls or sales calls, or doing training. So grab the link from Kylie, and we'll see you in my next list building blueprint workshop. Take care, everyone.